Well, hello and welcome everybody. This is Chemo Crisis here from Hives Gaming, and today I'm going to be showing you a small guide of the Alchemist class in SKYFORGE. I haven't seen any guide on the website that gives you a full explanation how this class works, so I took the chance to actually do that. So we're going to start with the abilities that he has. I have unlocked all abilities, so we'll get to see all abilities, and I'm gonna explain each one of them and why I'm using this loadout. So first thing first, we're gonna start with this one here. You have two attacks, which is with the left click and right click. With the left click, you do a single target attack. With the right click, you do a AoE attack. Now, if you stack each attacks, then use the other click. So, for example, if you stack 8 hits with the acidic solution, then you use the right click, you will deal more damage. So you need to stack these in order to deal more damage. And the same goes for the right click. If you do 5 stacks of right click, then you use the left click, you deal more AoE damage. This is gonna be your main attacks basically. They didn't use anything. Basically, they give you mana or resources, so you're gonna be using these a lot. And now the two main abilities that you're gonna be using when you have some mana is these right here. The first one right here is summon some, I would call them minions or bulbs or whatever. So you're gonna summon these, keep spamming this. So once you get a full mana, half mana, whatever, like the resources you have, what's the percent, whatever the percentage is, you're gonna have to spam these on the target so they deal maximum damage. Because I have I will explain later, I have here the talent that will make it even stronger when you spam it. The second one here is called Toxic Emission. This one is an AoE attack, and you can spam it if you are in the middle of group. I am gonna show you a video at the end of this video of me doing Port Area. It's a solo instance, and I'm gonna be using these when I'm getting into a whole group of enemies. Now the third one here is really interesting. This one reflects the damage. It used to be reflecting full damage, so I was killing bosses instantly sometimes, especially if they have a charge attack when they're buffed. They would actually kill themselves, but now they nerfed it, so now it reflects 33% of the Alchemist health. It's still pretty good. I mean, I thought it was a big nerf, but I used it in one of the bosses, and it worked. It was really good damage, and also it prevents damage to you. So while you're reflecting that, as long as you didn't get CC, you don't get no damage. So you're reflecting damage without getting any damage. This is a really good ability right here. This here is the Barrier Trap. This one I use it in case I get the 45% proc. It's saying right there. So it inflicts pretty good damage. It's 1054 to 2658 damage. And so that's a big ass damage. Also, it has a proc that will increase your damage and to enemies by 45% for 10 seconds. Now, this one is really good, especially against bosses. This one here, you're gonna be use it for tanks or allies or yourself. You can use it on yourself if you're soloing, but I mean, I use it mainly to give tanks because you're a support, remember? So as a support class, you will have to use these to make sure that your allies are alive. This shield is one of the best shields in terms of absorbing shields. I'm not talking about shield that will give you that will make you immune to damage. This one won't make you immune, so it absorbs damage. One of the best. It's even better than the paladin one. So using these to give it to the tank is really effective. Here called is the injection. This one here, basically, if you use it on your ally, you increase their damage by 80% for 8 seconds. And I will show you a talent that will make this 160% with more seconds, which is 16 seconds, if you stack it. Well, I will explain it later. Here also is a shield. Now this one will make you immune to damage, and you can drop it either at the target or you can drop it at yourself, and then you can activate it by pressing space, which is interacting with it, to be immune to any damage for 4 seconds. That includes CCs. Real effective. You should put it all the time where the target is, and I'm talking about the target is the tank. You have to put it where he is by holding the button C to spawn it where the tank is. This one here called Energy Shower. I use this one instead of the other one, is because this one will give 30% more damage to 20-yard radius for all allies. Also, it removes all negative effects. I'm using these mainly, to be honest with you, for the damage, especially when I start. It gives everybody damage. I ask my friends or my guild mates or my group mates to gather up when I'm using this to get the buff for 9 seconds. They hit hard. Lastly, here is the healing essence. This one here, it has also what do you call it? A talent. I don't think I used it. I didn't find it that effective, but I mean, you can use it. This one here, it restores 40% health to all allies. So basically, you fly, and anybody under you will get a healing buff, which heal him back by 40%. Really effective. Saves me a lot of times with me and my allies. Really effective, this one here. Now we're going to talk about the talents. First talent here is there's a 50% chance that toxic emission can be used again for free. So we're talking about this one here. This one is the AoE damage ability. And now you can use it. Actually, you have a 50% chance to use it twice. So imagine if spamming that. I could spam it for more than 10 times sometimes. Killing enemies really fast because the damage is not bad at all, especially when it crits. The second one here is basic attacks, restore 50 more, which the catalyst, it's basically the mana or the resources. This one is really important because you're gonna be using this abilities, or 1 or 2. This one will restore more, this one will restore less, but they still restore some of your mana. Really important because you're gonna need these mana, the mana to be refilled again. Here is really important too, although now after the nerf I might change it. It's up to you. Protective Membrane reflects 180% of the damage instead of 100%. I mean, now because they nerfed it to only 33%, so this buff right here is not necessarily really important now. It was good when it was open because you could reflect 180% to the attacker, and if he's doing a lot of damage, then he might even kill himself, especially even in PvP. It was pretty good. Now I might get rid of it. I'm playing Knight, that's why I haven't changed this one. We'll see what I'm gonna take after. This one here, the character gains 1000 catalyst and continues to gain 100 point every 2 seconds. So this one will give you 1000 mana basically for free as a passive, and also will be regaining mana to you 100 points every 2 seconds. This one is really important too because you want your mana to be refilled real fast. Sorry. Now this one, what I was telling you about that I'm going to explain. Each use of these minions increases the damage of the next use by 11%. This effect can be stacked up to 2 times. So if you use it twice, the second one will be dealing 11% more damage. Now that's pretty good. And it could be twice, could be used twice. So that's why I told you to spam it, because you will deal a lot of damage, especially if against bosses. This one is really important. Now if you took this one here, it's called the Creep and Horror. Now this one, you're gonna use this talent right here, because now you're gonna be you'll be dealing more damage against players. This one is good for PvP, but it's still for me because you summon less. If you look at it here, it uses 1200 mana points, but this one here uses only 600. So you can spam these more, and because in PvP they use a lot of shields, you might lose this for a shield that it has like a immunity. So basically you just wasted a lot of mana for nothing. So I would go with this one just to increase the chances of me hitting the target better than hitting it hard or missing. It's up to you at the end of the day. Now this one here, series of experiments. This talent basically will make it free, believe it or not, will make some of your abilities used for free. So including this here with a talent, that's why I told you sometimes I reach 10 times. I can spam this up to 10 times. Could be more, probably that's what the highest I reach. Because I got this one that has 50% to do it for free. Oh, sorry, where is it? They're here. 50% to restore for free, and this one here is also has a chance by 15% that makes the next two abilities free as well. So when I mean free, that means no mana. You will not be losing mana. Defensive algorithm. This one basically is for the shield that I told you about. What it does is saying protective shield completely absorbs the first attack. So the first attack, no matter how hard it is, it will absorb it. So imagine this shield itself is really strong, and now you're making it even stronger by making it absorbing completely the first attack, no matter how hard or how small it is. So they're really effective. It helps like for tanks. They will love you for this one. If protective shield is destroyed, it immediately recharges. How is that sound? So if you give it to a tank and he took two, let's say two huge ass damages or attacks, so the first one will be absorbed, the second one will destroy. Let's say if it's a huge damage, I mean it absorbs a lot of damage, especially if the tank has a lot of health. But let's say it got destroyed. If it gets destroyed, then it immediately recharges, so you can use it the second time and give it to the tank again. So spamming this shield with the shield right here to give it to him, you're actually as good as the Lightbinder with also DPS buffs. That's why, in my opinion, I love the Alchemist more than the Lightbinder. Finally, is the one that I told you that increases the damage by 160% for 16 seconds if you stack it. I'll tell you why now it's 160. Simulator injection can be used twice in a row. So you can actually spam it twice, and the effect stacks, but the cooldown also increased by 2 times. So the cooldown will be longer, but the damage will be twice. So let's say, for example, I'll give you a really fast example. If you have either Ranger, you can let him use it at the beginning of the fight before anybody attacks, because they have a talent that will make them deal, I don't know what's the percentage, but they deal big damage if they are out of combat. So either give it to them, or you can give it to a Slayer who's gonna be using it from stealth for that falling blades, whatever that thing is. I don't play Slayer, so I don't know what that ability called, but it hits hard the third time. It has a 100% chance to crit. So if you give him 180% damage for 16 seconds, you can imagine the damage he could be doing at that time. Also, where is it? This one here increases the damage by allies by 30%. So if you could actually use this to give him twice the damage, let's say for a Slayer, then you can use this to give him another 30%. What are you going to be using for your Alchemist? Well, since you have a lot of shields, you have a lot of survivability abilities. Now, in my opinion, just my opinion, all I'm going to be focusing on is critical chance, right here, from this one, accuracy from this one, critical chance from this one. I would go with temper from this one. From this one also the accuracy back, critical chance, critical chance. Why do you want critical chance? Because of your minions, the bulbs that you summon. If they keep critting, man, you can actually kill stuff really fast. I will show you at the end of this video how fast you can kill stuff. I did Port Neri, and I finished the first boss. I killed the first boss in less than 2 minutes. I think it was a minute and a half, probably even in a minute. I'm not even sure. You can actually judge yourself. And it's I think it was in normal difficulty. So as far as that goes, I mean, that's it for the Alchemist. Let me see if I can mention something for the Alchemist. Oh yeah, of course. For the tree, you're gonna unlock all you have to unlock all of it. You have to, because if you want to get something right here that I need to mention is the sample. What I'm gonna be using, I suggest it for everybody to use. It's up to you, but this is my suggestion and my own opinion. Ultimate strength. Now you need to increase your base damage so you can meet the maximum damage. This one here, critical damage is increased because you're increasing your critical chance. Now you need to increase your critical damage, to make up for that. You need, otherwise it's gonna be a waste to increase the critical chance. Here's is the impulse damage. Imagine the impulse damage with this one. Now critical damage is increased. The impulse damage will be increased too. So if you crit with the impulse charge, you might deal a lot of damage. And when I'm talking a lot of damage, means huge damage. Now the last thing, okay, there you got 1, 2, 3 right here. I would go with this. That's why I told you have to unlock all the alchemist abilities, or what do you call them? Skills in the skill tree, in the atlas thing, because you need this one. When using offensive ability, the character occasionally receives an injection which increases damage by 15% for 10 seconds. And it's really frequent. I've used it, and it's really frequent. Now, I'm not using it because as I mentioned, I'm a knight. So I don't play Alchemist anymore. Not because I don't like it or anything, it's just because I want to level up the knight now. This is the 4th. Now for the 5th, it's up to you. Either you can go with something that is defensive, 1, 2, 3, 4, right here, or you can go with this one. This is my suggestion. You have to be full damage, because that's what's gonna differentiate you from being a light binder, is because you're making runs really fast and really secure by giving a lot of shields. So I will go with this one. Critical hit chance is increased by 7%. So if you don't get aggro, if the tank is doing a good job by getting the whole aggro, you'll get in a 7% increase of critical chance. I mean, you can't go wrong with this build. Up to you at the end of the day. And also, at the end of this video as well, I'm going to show you the Port Nayori, which is the fight I told you about. The second thing, I'm going to show you another video showing you the outfit you get for the Alchemist. When you finish the whole tree, you get 2 simple slots talents, which I just showed you in a second ago. And also you'll get a style for the Alchemist. And basically for each class you're going to be finishing, you'll get a style. I'm going to show you the style for the knight once I unlock it in the video coming up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I covered up everything that I know so far. If I forgot anything, please comment in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe. With your support, I can do a lot of videos and a lot of guides for different games. It could be SKYFORGE, DC Universe, Guild Wars, Arcade, coming up Black Desert, that I'm actually really excited to be one of the streamers for that game. So yeah, thank you so much, and I appreciate your